Hey up. So this morning I'm not at the farm, I'm round at a mate's place and we're going to help him set up a wee veg garden. And so I thought I'd just do a short video just on the considerations we go through how we locate and then how we set up this garden. And so here we've got this wonderfully huge section and a big back garden with some really mature trees, so we've got like the perfect framework to be doing something really nice and simple here. And two of the principles we use when we first look at siting anything are two permaculture principles of design. One being sector analysis, where we look at where the sun comes from through the day, both in summer, winter and at the equinoxes, and also where the prevailing winds come from. Now this garden is on an east to west axis. We've got north that way, south behind us, so because we're in the southern hemisphere we have the sun, all day sun coming up around here, and so this southern fence line gets a heap of sun. We also get a really cold northeasterly wind that blows in, but the house just behind the camera there protects us by and large from that. We also get cold southwesterlies, but again, because we've got these established trees and a bit of a fence line, the section is really well sheltered from that. And the other consideration where we are here are these super strong, hot, dry northwesterly winds that come in summer. It's kind of like holding a hairdryer in your face. It just really dries the ground and the soil out and can damage plants, so that's another key consideration. And then we also use what they call zoning, which basically means, in simple terms, we place things that we go to a lot as close as we can to where we spend the majority of our time. And so I like to say the best place for a garden is if you can reach it from your kitchen window. And now that's not practical, but what I'm really trying to get at there is if it's positioned as close as you can to your kitchen, the more likely you are to be going out there and harvesting for those bits and pieces you need when you're cooking. And ultimately that's what it's about, you're growing food so you can eat it. So where we've settled on to place the veg garden for annual veggies really is over my shoulder here on the right, where Braden's already laid out a lot of sleepers, and we're going to set up two quite linear beds. And because of that linear nature of the bed makes it incredibly efficient for when we're setting up the infrastructure. So if we're putting in automated irrigation, we might be using cloches to bring on plants and go for seeds, or just tarping when the garden's not in use. It just makes it really simple, easy and really cost effective just to integrate those things into the garden. And so when it comes to setting up the garden, what we're going to do is something real simple and easy. It's already been scraped away, but there's still grass in there. All it's done is just been cleared out, a few stones chucked out and levelled out a little bit. The sleepers are just going to create a hard edge and retain the garden, and where we're going to add compost into that, but it also means that it makes it easier for weeding and maintenance. And then simple in terms of what we're going to do, we're just going to take some cardboard, lay it on top of there, dump a heap of compost in top, and then create a path with bark mulch down the middle. And then we're really just setting up a no-dig garden. And there's heaps of info on the internet about no-dig gardens, but they really are simple to set up. And so we'll just follow us as we do that, and hopefully it should just take an hour or so, and then we'll be ready to plant into. But because it's the middle of winter, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to cover it over and let that mature for the next 4 to 6 weeks before we do anything. And that'll just allow everything to settle down. The compost will then firm up a little bit and be easier to not only direct sow into, but also plant the seedlings into come early spring. So we're just laying the cardboard down over the area. You can see, help prevent suppressed weeds. Almost done. Just wetting down the cardboard so it doesn't blow away. Keeps it nice and tight. Holds it in place while we're bringing the compost.
So before we put the bark mulch path down, we can see how deep we go in with the compost here. And so it's the best part of 200 mils, because it will just compact and settle down over time, so probably leave us a good 6 inches, which should smother out along with the cardboard any annual or perennial weeds for quite some time. Beds have just been tamped down with a rake. We'll just put in the bark for the path, cover them up, and then they'll be good to plant into whenever we're ready. Job done, ready to cover up, get the irrigation sorted and plant into. You.